the #1 app for radio.
I'm 6ABC Action News meteorologist Brittany Boyer with your latest forecast. It's still feeling like summer outside today. Temperatures running about 10 degrees above average. We have plenty of sunshine with highs right around 88 degrees in Philadelphia. Clear skies are expected tonight, and it's comfortable. Overnight lows ranging from the upper 50s into the low 60s. And thanks to a cold front, it's cooler as we head into the start of the weekend, but still a beautiful day on Saturday with highs right around 78.
This report is sponsored by the International Hot Rod Association.
The International Hot Rod Association and Durana Hybrid, where horsepower meets hard work, reigniting the spirit of racing and the power of skilled trades, mentorship, education, legacy. Fuels the future on the track and in the trades. Get your tickets now at ihra.com.
Pro Savings Days at Lowe's means up to 35% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $1,000 when you buy 4 select LG major appliances. Valid through 9/26. Selection varies while supplies last. See Associate or Lowe's.com for more details and qualifying items.
#1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WDAS and WD273D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler.
And away we go here on a Football Friday. A beautiful day in the Delaware Valley. My goodness, it's hot. For all you people out there that thought fall was here, the great words of the legendary Lee Corso. Not so fast, my friend. Ladies and gentlemen, we got a lot to get to today. Of course, we got a big-time matchup on Sunday between the Philadelphia Eagles and the L.A. Rams. We'll hit on that. College football Friday night lights going down this evening. We got postseason baseball inching closer and closer. So much to discuss. And right from the jump, we head out to the Gambler Stream, and we are joined by Julain Edlow from the DK Network. He's going to join us to start us off here, and as always, we got to get it going with the opening drive.
The Daily Ticket opening drive. No warm-ups, no stretching, just straight into the action.
But that's going to do it as the clock runs out on Miami, and they lose once again to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, of course. They ended up winning the game, but they did not cover the number. It was just one too many points. I didn't feel comfortable about it yesterday. We talked about it a lot, but we did hit on Dalton Kincaid in a big way. He had a monster evening, a touchdown, and over 60-plus yards. And on DraftKings Sportsbook, Julain Edlow, let me bring you in here. Plus 325, over 60-plus for Mr. Kincaid. Hit the end zone at plus 265. Bang, bang. But I did have the spread at minus 12.5. Yeah. So we'll take a couple wins there as we came out on top. But interesting game in a way. I want to start the show with you here, sir. First of all, great to have you. Thank you as always. But are the Buffalo Bills the best team in the AFC in your mind?
It's a good question. I still put Baltimore right up there. Baltimore was the better team for 55 minutes. Buffalo just kind of caught lightning in a bottle. So it's between those two for me. I trust Buffalo more in the playoffs. Baltimore's had its issues year after year in the postseason, but defensively, I don't trust Buffalo. The secondary has issues, and the Bills' defense will get exposed. Baltimore scored 40 on them. I would consider that exposed. Miami, Tua wasn't even really getting the ball downfield last night, and they were in that game the whole way. They're like, it's a tied game. Tua's got 63 passing yards. I'm like, how the hell is that possible? But it is.
It was true.
And the Jets are the Jets, and they go from Fields to Tyrod Taylor in the game. So, I feel like it hasn't been exposed yet and won't be exposed that much because it takes really good teams to expose Buffalo. So, I don't know. I'll be a little contrarian, not that contrarian, and say Baltimore, a team I like very much this week, is the best team in the AFC.
AFC.
I almost said the ACC.
Yeah,
they would definitely be the best team in the ACC.
No doubt about that. Well, yeah, I do like them on Monday as well. We will hit on that before you get out of here. But to your point about the box score, Tua finished with 146, 22 of 34. There was a moment in the game in the third quarter where he was averaging a yard per pass.
That offense goes, they have all these burners, HN included with the wide receiver, and everything's going sideways or backwards. And obviously that hurt some people. Last play of the game was graded a rush to Malik Washington rather than a pass. That cashed the under rather than the over on Tua's passing attempts, and the under rather than the over on Malik Washington's receiving yards.
Yeah, there was a lot of that last night. Even in Buffalo, they swing it to the outside with Shakir, and I was wondering, was that going to be credited as a rush? Because it looked like he was, sideways and even behind them, but of course it counted as a touchdown.
Buffalo finds they're clicking on offense. Like, they find every guy, they find him in the right spots. Like, I understand why some of their plays you want to go short or go horizontal, and you trust that you're going to make the play. Miami's going like backwards throwing the ball on some of these plays. It's crazy.
Yeah. All right. So Julain Edlow right from the jump here on a Football Friday. Of course, find Julain over on the X machine at Julain Edlow, EDLOW. And while you're there, make sure you check out his podcast. That is the DraftKings Daily Bets at the DK Network. 50 to 20 minutes daily, right wherever you get your podcast at. Subscribe to it. I do. It's a great listen, must listen. And it starts the day. It starts to get the juices going because, of course, now it's time to shine. We got some games going off this evening, with all due respect to Charlotte and Rice last night. And, of course, Buffalo and Miami. A lot of action on that game. But ultimately, we got some good games tonight, right into tomorrow, college football. And Sunday, we got some heavy hitters. And that's where I want to start with you. We'll stay in the NFL, Julian, if you would not mind. And let's open up with the Eagles and the Rams here. And what are you seeing right now on DraftKings Sportsbook as far as the money, where it's going? Because I feel like this is a sharp play. I feel like I'm reading that. Are my sentiments correct on the timeline? I'm starting to see a lot more people make the case for the +3.5 with the Rams. And look, as an Eagles fan, I'm wearing the shirt. I could see why you would say that. I totally understand it, but this is a game at Lincoln Financial Field, 1:00, LA on the road. And with all due respect to the Tennessee Titans and the Houston Texans, they're not the defending Super Bowl champions that people continue to doubt. 19 out of the last 20 games, this team has found a way to win. 19 to 20, yet they still continue to be doubted. And I love it. Bring it on more. It's the chip on the shoulder for Mr. Jalen Hurts. This strikes me as one of those games, Julian. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that this team is going to go undefeated, but this strikes me as one of those games that Ryan Beef Coyle, and I know you saw it on the timeline, that Jalen Hurts is going to step to the podium at 4:30, 4:35, whatever it is, in that Kangol hat backwards and said, is that what y'all wanted to see? He's going to take some shots, open it up. And I don't know if the Rams offense is ready to see what's on the defensive side of the ball for the Eagles. But with that being said, I want to know what the numbers are saying. We don't bet the teams, we bet the numbers. So where are you at with this game at 3.5?
Yeah, no real opinion from me on the game. This isn't going to be one that I'm betting. I'll tell you first with the numbers. Bettors are saying that the Eagles are going to win the game. Like you said, they win the game. 80% of the money is on the Eagles' money line. That's where the love ends for the Eagles. It is, as you mentioned, sharp Rams and sharp under. Now, this opened 4.5. I would like 4.5 much more than 3.5. And if it was 4.5, I would tell you I would consider teasing the Rams to 10.5. I don't think this is going to be a blowout. Rams are coming back for revenge after being the only team that tested the Eagles in the playoffs. And looking for a little bit of revenge, and that was in Philly. We know that they can come into this atmosphere and play well. But yeah, from a numbers perspective, 46% of the bets for 70% of the dollars on the Rams with the points, only 30% of the tickets on the under, but for 68% of the dollars. So it's sharp Rams and under. I'm gonna leave it alone. I think that the Rams with Puka and Devontae Adams contest what I've been saying on this show is a downgraded Eagles secondary, but it's a downgraded Eagles secondary from a Super Bowl secondary. So, where is it? Who knows? But Mahomes made plays that potentially could have won them that game. His pass catchers didn't finish them. The Cowboys, Dak made plays that could have potentially won that opener. The receivers, CeeDee Lamb specifically, didn't finish them. Stafford could have a big game downfield to those receivers. But that doesn't take away from what the Eagles are going to do well, too. So it's going to be a really good game, in my opinion. Not one that I'm betting.
I like that. And, of course, we got the soundbite as always.
So that's what y'all want to see, huh?
Damn right. And we'll see if that's how it plays out. I'm more concerned about the run game with anything with the Eagles. And I think this is a good spot because if you remember last year, Saquon Barkley literally ran for over 250-plus yards. I think he had 300 total yards in that Sunday Night Football game. Yeah, they played in the snow here in the playoffs, but I like the matchup with the Eagles offensive line with the chip on their shoulder. Saquon somewhat struggling. He's able to get it going. He's found the end zone, but he's not hitting the number like he was last year, which, oh, by the way,
Saquon season long under. We'll see. That's not you want to talk about bets that aren't fun, and we can talk about an underdog trend this week that's not fun.
Yes.
Saquon under his season long rushing yards prop is not one if you're just a hey, I bet $10-20 a game for fun kind of bet.
Good start for you though, as he's got 120.
Yeah, he could have 250 yards against the Rams.
Right. You're right. It's just that easy. All right. With that being said, staying in the NFL, this is the trend. Everybody's looking at those 0-2 teams, right? I saw you put this out. I think yesterday we rolled out the stat that Get Up had. I think it's 118 teams since 2000 have started 0-3, and there's been only one team that's made the playoffs. It was the 2018 Houston Texans. So as you look around the NFL, of course, top dog out of everybody that's 0-2, you look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They have a matchup against the Giants that I think that they win there, 6.5 on the road. It's a couple more points that I would like to lay, but it is what it is. With that 0-2 teams entering into NFL Week 3, Julian, I know you did some research. What were you able to find, and is there a player or two that you might think has some value on that with that trend?
So it's 0-2 teams entering Week 3 that are priced as an underdog. So the Chiefs are out. The Giants, however, are actually in because they are 0-2 as well and the underdog in that game. So after last night, Miami qualified as one of these teams. 0-2, priced as an underdog, covered the game. So now over the last 9 seasons, using the one game that we have to add to it from this year, 0-2 teams in Week 3 priced as an underdog are 38-17 against the spread. That's like 70% range. Now, we get a loaded card of 0-2 dogs this week. 8 of them on Sunday. So you can pick your poison here if you want to go to any of them. I'll rattle them off for you. Browns catching 8.5 at home against the Packers. Jets catching 6.5 at Tampa. Carolina catching 5.5 at home to Atlanta. Tennessee catching 4.5 at home to Indy. Houston catching 1.5 in Jacksonville. New Orleans catching 7.5 in Seattle. Bears catching 1.5 at home to Dallas. And I mentioned the Giants catching 6 now at home against the also 0-2 Chiefs. I don't think people are going to feel uncomfortable backing the spot, just like you would feel uncomfortable backing the Dolphins last night, because the thought process or the whatever public appearance is that the 0-2 team is bad. Why are you going to bet on them? But there's typically value there. Like, Tennessee on the preseason line was a 1.5 favorite hosting Indy. Nobody wants to fade Indy right now. They've looked really good, but they played 2 games at home. They're going on the road outdoors for the first time in the division. And Tennessee hasn't been awful. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to bet Tennessee, but that's, if you told me I had to bet that game, I would certainly take 4.5 with the home team. Houston's kind of win or go home, but as you mentioned, the only team that's fallen to 0-3 and make the playoffs because that division is so poor. Houston did it once, but I would say this is a win or go home spot for Houston. There's some teams that you can interest me in. Carolina's not one of them. New Orleans isn't one of them.
Nope.
Even the Giants aren't one of them. Maybe they do cover that game, but I really think the Chiefs can fend off an 0-3 start against the Giants. I don't see them actually dropping that game. But there's some spots in there, and again, they're going to feel uncomfortable. I'm not telling you to play all 8 of them, but if you played all 8 of them, I would guess that you are profitable. Put it that way.
Ooh, that's interesting. Definitely something we will take notes on come Sunday. Let me put the lure in the water. Got the rod out. The Browns, can I dangle the Browns in your direction? I just think the 8.5 now, that defense at home, everything has been going right for Green Bay. Why not? This is a spot that potentially it's a tighter game than, of course, 8.5.
Yeah, I see the thought process. They have the defense. They're at home. They're desperate. I liked that when the Packers were like 7.5, even at 8.5. Like I didn't mind them as a teaser leg. They're kind of like the Chiefs in this spot. I'm not laying it, but I don't see them losing the game.
Yeah.
I just think Green Bay can match them defensively. They've been awesome defensively. These are the two best run defenses so far in the NFL. And you have to think, even with the limit, it is getting limited. Like now Reed is out. Kraft is dinged up.
Yeah, it's true.
But Jordan Love always seems to find guys. I think Green Bay wins the game, but you will not catch me laying 8.5 with the Pack.
I like that. All right, before we get to Monday night, anything else on Sunday that has your attention that you would like to give our listening audience?
I wish I bet the Niners earlier in the week at the shorter price. I would have been fine with Mac Jones, but it sounds like it's going to be Purdy. So it's up to 3 at even money, -162 money line. You can go in there and pick any number you want, like a San Francisco -2.5, -120. I don't mind that. That'll probably be something that I'll play. And I mentioned Atlanta. Atlanta's defense is really good. The Panthers are down 3 starting O linemen now, I think. Atlanta's going to wreck them, in my opinion, on defense and just not give them much hope. If you told me to lay the points against any of these 0-2 teams that the trend favors, I would probably lay it with Atlanta. But I put out in my NFL Best Bets article, you can find it on DK Network, I prior to the week laid 2.5 with the Falcons. That was the look ahead. So I got a good one in pocket there. But Falcons money line, same game parlayed with Bijan over 60 rushing yards. His true number is 81.5, buying it down to 60 with the money line correlated. I think Atlanta wins the game. Carolina's too dinged up. I don't trust them enough. I know they had the late comeback against Arizona. I think Arizona's soft. They were dominating that much of the way. So I think Atlanta wins that game, and Bijan 60 is a really modest rushing number. We saw a $143 last game. He's gone for 60 plus rushing yards in 15 of his last 19. Last year against Carolina, 95 and 170 were the rushing totals for Bijan Robinson. Panthers year after year ranked dead last or in the neighborhood against the run. So buying down Bijan's rushing yards to pair with Falcons money line, I put that out.
I dig that. Yeah, the front 7 for the Falcons have been impressive. Of course, Pierce, the draft pick, has been getting after it a little bit as well. Secondary up for debate, but I do like that the pass rush right now for the Falcons, and I love Bijan. He is just such a smooth athlete. Of course, catching that first pass of the season and taking it to the house, and then he could potentially be the best running back in the game. I don't think anybody's going to argue that. Now, before we flip the script and discuss as far as anything else on Sunday, I did want to get into this just as far as you brought up the Carolina Panthers and teams that we wouldn't bet with. Fewest wins right now on DraftKings Sportsbook, always an interesting market. Saints plus 360, Browns plus 360, Giants plus 650, Carolina Panthers 7-1. Do you think there's a chance that the Panthers finish with the fewest wins this year? And I think that's a nice little play if you do believe that could be the case.
I think they're just as bad as the rest of those teams. I think they're in the worst division, though, which could lead to some wins. You got to play the Saints. Somebody's going to win those games.
Oh, man.
That's math. They could tie, I guess.
Got to do a watch party for that game.
You could interest me on that, just given that they're the longest odds, and I think they're right in the mix with those other teams.
All right, let's get to Monday Night Football. This is a banger, 53.5 as far as the total is concerned. The Lions and the Ravens. Jared Goff, I don't believe, if I heard this correct, it's either 1 or 0. passing touchdowns in his career against the Ravens. This is a team that he struggles against for his career. Of course, he's been with the Rams and now with the Lions here. Ravens at home, 4.5-point spread. I think we're in agreement here. I'm starting to see a lot of people, though. That's the part that rubs you the wrong way. I was just watching Get Up this morning. All 4 people had the Ravens. Yesterday, NFL Network, everybody had the Ravens. I don't know. I want to believe that the Detroit Lions can go in there and score some points, but I'm not buying it. I know that we just talked about the Ravens to start off potentially being the best team in the AFC. I subscribe to that theory in my preseason Super Bowl pick here. 4.5, 53.5. What's your read on this game? Do you think we get fireworks? Let's start there.
Yeah, it's interesting because everybody's giving out the Ravens, but then the number's down from 6 to 4.5. But the public ticket-wise seems to like the Lions. So there's all that, and I'm throwing that all out and just handicapping this game without betting data or sharp versus square. I'm going to throw that out for this game and say that I think the Ravens roll the Lions. That's my favorite bet of the weekend.
Really?
2 years ago when Detroit came into Baltimore, they got destroyed. It was 38 to a low number. All right, maybe you can look that up as I go.
It's like
but
31-0 in the third quarter, I remember.
They destroyed them. Lions outside has always been a thing. Monday Night Football against a good Baltimore defense, that should be a thing. I'm down on the Lions. I'm down on the Lions this year. The first win total I played was Lions under 10.5. Did not look the part week 1 outdoors on the road against Green Bay. And I think Baltimore is a similar type of machine that can just kind of run them over in this game. So I think Baltimore is going to put up its usual 30 plus. And Lions are going to struggle a bit in this spot. So I think the Ravens win this game by double digits. That's probably my strongest opinion of the weekend.
I love it. All right, Julain Edlow from DK Network joining us here on a Football Friday. Get involved in the conversation at Fox PHL Gambler. Make sure you subscribe to Julian's podcast that he puts out daily over at the DraftKings Network. It's a must listen. Trust me when I tell you that. 20 minutes, bing, bang, boom, get all the information you need to get you ready for wagering as far as the evening and the weekend games. Last one in the NFL, then I want to get over to college. A lot of quarterbacks hurt. Marcus Mariota just announced as the starting quarterback for the Commanders. Jaden Daniels out 2.5 at home versus the Raiders. Any interest? Have you looked at like some of these games with the backup quarterbacks being the starters? We got the backup bowl between Cincinnati and Minnesota. Commanders, as I just said, a number of quarterbacks hurt. Taylor starting for the Jets. Does that like make your handicap easier? Do you like want to focus on those games a little bit more because it's the backup quarterback? What do you do when a backup quarterback is announced?
Yeah, I mean, I like betting on backups if I like the player and the spot, and I can get on board with this one. I do lean Washington. I was hoping it ticked down more when Mariota, that was priced in, obviously, 7.5 down to 3.5.
Wow.
Mariota's priced in, but I was hoping they were holding out some hope for Daniels, and this would go down more to, 1.5 money line range on Washington. Vegas might not be very good. I don't think the Patriots are all that good. And, they barely got by them in kind of an ugly game, even though they passed all over them in week 1. They got destroyed by the Chargers. Now the Chargers might just be really good. That's a real possibility at this point in time. But now you're going you go East Coast, home for Monday Night Football, short week, back out East. I think Mariota's perfectly capable, good run game, solid defense. I'll wait and see if this ticks down a little bit more, but I do have some interest in Washington at home.
All right. Our own Kyle Fisher, who joins me weekly here, he'll be out at the backup bowl in Minnesota. Of course, represent the squad with CBS Sports, following Tracy Wolfson around. Good luck on that one, Kyle, and tell Carson Wentz we said hello. With that being said, shifting gears, we got Julain Edlow for about 6 more minutes here to get started on a Football Friday. Let's talk some college football. Friday night lights in Piscataway, New Jersey. We got Rutgers and Iowa. And not a lot of people are believing we're going to see some points here this evening, Julain. I saw a lot of love for the under as far as tonight's game is concerned. 46.5 is our total. Iowa favored on the road, 1.5 here on DK. You have a write-up over at DK Network yourself, and you like a side in this game. Take us through, man. Where are you at?
Yeah, well, total-wise, we're actually up a couple points. It's gone up a couple points, and 39% of the bets for 75% of the handle are over. So, and I get that.
Is now the time to take the under then? Yes and no.
I don't know. I don't have as much of an opinion on the total. I understand it getting bet up because Rutgers' offense has looked really good. They've got a good quarterback. They've been moving the ball, and the defense has been bad. And in theory, we're talking about, is this the year that Iowa's quarterback finally comes through? We've been talking about that for years, and it never seems to actually happen. But I like Gronowski. I think he should do well against Rutgers' defense. Rutgers' defense lost a lot. I bet him in their Friday night home game last year. It was Washington coming across the country to play there. Washington's been historically great at home and bad on the road, and Rutgers got there. They won that game, but Washington missed a bunch of kicks, was probably the wrong side of that game, even though Rutgers won. I think Iowa can be buttoned up here, play some strong defense. It'll be by far the best defense that Rutgers has seen. And I think they'll be able to move the ball on Rutgers' defense that lost a lot of guys off that team that was much scrappier from last year. So I never loved going Friday night road team. I went home team last week with Arizona and Houston. I had 2 wins on Friday night before Georgia started to derail my Saturday. But I'm going road team, short enough now to go minus 125 money line. I think Iowa's a much better team.
All right, let's take some of that love on Friday night, see if we can cash in there. I'll ride with you on that one. I need some plays for this evening. We'll roll with Iowa, but we start the day early tomorrow and see if we can get over to the home squad. I want to know your thoughts on this Utah-Texas Tech game. I can't wait for it. Huge Big 12 implications. I think I did put a future in on Utah to win the conference. They're 3.5 now, 57.5. I would love the money line here at minus 175. That seems like that's a little pricey. If I needed to get in on this game, what would you recommend here? Because I do like Utah. Texas Tech, look, they're 3-0. They've played well this year. It's been well documented as far as the offseason, all the money that they're spending down there. But ultimately, that is a difficult place to go in and to win at Utah. 3.5, I would like it a little bit flat. Hell, I wouldn't even want to give any points. I just want to win this game. But your thoughts, where are you at in this one?
Yeah, it's a weird kickoff to be a noon game because that's 10 a.m. kick in Salt Lake City. That is early. Now, there's some discussion that that's a negative for Utah. I think it's a wash. It's still 11 a.m. body clock for Texas Tech, and you got to go on the road. Hopefully the crowd will be, Utah's a tough place to play. I would love it to be a night game. Now it's 10 a.m. I still think it'll be a decent home crowd. I think Texas Tech is a little overhyped. They beat 2 nobodies, with all due respect, in their first 2 games, scored over 60 a game, gave up 21 total points. And then they hosted Oregon State, who I know is a dead team because I bet on them week 1 and 2. They can't get punts off. They can't kick field goals. Oregon State stinks. You will not find my money on them again. That is a promise.
No more
this
Beavers.
Season. No more Beavers for me. And they've played all their games at home. So Texas Tech hasn't proven a thing to me. We'll learn what they are here. Utah has had an easy schedule, but they've got 2 real road wins that they dominated. It was at UCLA. UCLA obviously way under market expectations. And then last week they went to Wyoming late night. Laramie can be a tough place to play, and they rolled in that game. So Utah's a little more of a proven commodity to me at this point. At home, I'm interested in them. I would not lay more than 3. And like you said, I'm looking to get Utah maybe on a money line parlay with something that I'm very confident in, which would be like a Virginia money line over Stanford, a USC money line over Michigan State, something to get it down to like minus 110 range. And those are 2 night games that I'm pretty confident in a winner. So I might wind up doing something like that, to your point of the Utah money line.
All right, final question here. College football card, Julain Edlow, and we got to talk about your Oklahoma write-up because this is really intriguing. You are one of the very few that feel like Oklahoma is the side here, or maybe I might be wrong, but all in all, 6.5 points spread. You got halftime, full-time written up here. Now, I know what that means, but Does that mean 6.5 is a little bit too much for you, and you want to stay away from the point spread, but you feel like Oklahoma will continue their winning ways? Auburn looked good in that opener. They're able to throw it around a little bit. Of course, Oklahoma has had a pretty good run so far, and they've looked impressive. Heisman favorite, so there's a lot to like. 6.5, though. I said I would roll with Auburn on the road here. You like halftime, full-time, back in the Sooners. Why?
Yeah, if you made me bet the spread, I would lay it with Oklahoma. I think they can pull away in this game, but I like how they get off to strong starts at home, and I like them to win. So the double result is very fairly priced. Lead the game at half, win the game. You don't have to lay anything. If Auburn does come through here on the back door or something, I think Oklahoma's the better team. They've had an elite defense this year and last year. We just didn't see it as much last year because the offense was so putrid. Now with John Mateer and those receivers, they've got a real offense. And Auburn's a good SEC defense, but they gave up over 400 passing on the road to Baylor. Baylor's a legit passing attack. I don't think Oklahoma's that good. That good in the sense of Baylor good throwing the ball, but they certainly can throw the ball. They threw the ball on Michigan. So I think Oklahoma will be able to score the ball. Jackson Arnold coming back to Oklahoma where he was the quarterback last year. He'll want some revenge, but you want to keep Auburn running the ball here, and I don't know if they're going to be able to score enough running the ball. If they turn Jackson Arnold into a passer, I don't think he's a very good passer, and Oklahoma has arguably the best pass defense in the country right now. So if game script holds here, if my double result holds and Oklahoma's playing from ahead, you're going to then make Jackson Arnold a passer. I don't think that's going to go well for Auburn, and that's how Oklahoma pulls away at home. They got to stop the run for Auburn, and if Oklahoma can do that early and force them to pass, I really like how that plays out for the Sooners at home.
All right, Julian, fantastic stuff. You got a look ahead for the Heisman Trophy? Anything as far as Heisman Trophy? I was trying to talk myself into Drew Aller. Anybody standing out to you right now besides
really.
the top dogs? Yeah.
It's a pretty tough market, and I don't think any team particularly stands out. And it's nice, like there's new guys popping because the Arch Manning love was that's not going to get there. Arch Manning preseason favorite is not going to get there. But I don't like John Mateer being the favorite at a point in time. I don't think that's right. I haven't been able to figure out Heisman. It's going to be another interesting year.
Yeah, I'm trying to look down the schedule of some of these teams and see, but everybody has so many games left that, like, yeah, you could talk yourself to any one of these guys. So I think I was looking at Dampier from Utah, of course, obviously, like I said, with Drew Aller. And then who was the other guy? Dante Moore at 12-1 because Oregon, look, if they go into Happy Valley and win there, they could potentially run the table. That's an explosive offense, and Dan Lanning's a hell of a coach. I'd love to back his QB there. So it's really interesting, but a lot of football to go. I read your article. You're like 1 quarter down. Dude, slow down. So we just started, Julian. Don't start.
That's a fact.
I know, but it's like, whoa. It was like an alarming fact, all right?
Quarter of the college football season in the books.
Good grief. Hey, man, thank you for hopping on a Friday. I know that we normally do Thursdays, but so good to have you here to start the show. Once again, Julian Edlow, DK Network. Be sure to subscribe to his podcast, DKN Daily Bets. You can find everything on his socials. All one word. That's Julian, Edlow. Let's go Iowa. Let's go Ravens. And then we ride this bad boy into next week. We'll catch up next week, sir.
Let's do it.
My man, there he is, Julian Edlow on the Gambler Stream. Fantastic stuff there to get the party started. You heard what he had to say. Please hit me up at FoxPHL Gambler. Let's keep that conversation going. I need to hear from you people out there. Where you at? What do you got going tonight? What's a play that you like? I will tell you, full disclosure, your boy, I'm in 3 survivor pools. 2 of them pulled the trigger last night. Buffalo. Bang! Bang! Like the Phils, Cactus Jack. Survive in advance. There was a moment that I go, did I just screw up riding the Buffalo Bills here when it was all knotted up at 21 apiece? What a terrible, absolute boneheaded mistake on that punt to pick up 15 yards and hand it over. And that was the turning point in the game. That was the difference, because the Dolphins might have taken the lead on that next drive. I don't think Buffalo's defense is as good as advertised. I think we're all in agreement on that one, as we've seen them a few weeks so far. I know they looked good against the Jets last week, but Miami looked like they were moving the football a little bit there. And again, it's just alarming with that box score, because Tua, just what he was able to do. I mean, 150 total. Ugh, what an ugly offense. We'll talk a little bit more about that game, because I got some sound bites, of course, I want to break down. And one of the more alarming contracts in the NFL. Yeah, he played last night. I'm pretty sure you know where I'm going with that. So a lot to discuss. We're just getting warmed up here. Appreciate Julain Edlow. Coming up at 4 o'clock, my guy, Ryan Beef Coyle. Beef's going to join me. We do the college football rundown show, Beef Embrace, every Saturday. Taking a little bit of a pause this Saturday due to some things happening and a lot going on. So here's the deal, because Sunday is a big day for us. So Saturday, we will have some content for you. We will be running a show. We won't be live, though. There will be a recorder. We're going to do it tonight. We'll have that for you tomorrow at 11 a.m. following Dick Girardi, Mike Kern, live from Parks Sportsbook and Casino. So Beef and Brace will be there for you tomorrow at 11, getting you ready to go for all things college football. We'll be back next week, though, live from Villanova for Family Day, man. That's going to be awesome out there. We'll be live, college football rundown show, 1 to 3 p.m., getting you ready for all things Villanova football, myself and Beef out there on the main line. Hide your kids. Yeah. All right. Coming up on the other side, we'll continue to talk all things NFL, hit on some of the more alarming trends that are happening right now. And it's really focusing on teams that are 0-2. We got to find one team to back here that we believe will not go to 0-3. And of course, the numbers are there. And I think odds makers are trying to, figure it out, and they're taking the pulse of the people, and they're extending these numbers. So we need to figure out how many points are too many points and who the hell is an absolute dub. I'm starting to talk myself into Kansas City Chiefs rolling against the New York Giants. It's not what I was saying yesterday. That's for sure. More after this.
We don't just watch college football, we live it.
How did he stay on balance there? Look at him go! Scataboo!
Join us for the stories, the scores, and the Saturday magic. It's The Gambler.
The ultimate celebration of music.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is happening tonight and tomorrow.
Live in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. 16 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage.
Streaming live only at Hulu.
And listen live on the free iHeartRadio app.
Tonight and tomorrow night, starting at 10:30.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
95 southbound crawling Copman Bridge. There's a disabled vehicle. The right lane is blocked. And northbound 95 Sapago Vine Expressway up to Bridge Street. Westbound Schuylkill, Jan, University to Duarte Boulevard to Belmont. Eastbound Sapago Boulevard to South. Lara Tutela, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Prime Big Deal Days. Looking for a kitchen upgrade? Prime Big Deal Days are coming. But even if that's not on your list, there will be deals on all kinds of must-haves. Up to 40% off. Shop Prime Big Deal Days on October 7th and 8th.
Hey, Sean Brace here for DraftKings Sportsbook. Your season, your shot. The NFL season is rolling along, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. From first touchdown score to anytime touchdown props, the thrill of live in-game betting, every snap is loaded with opportunity. Here's what we got this weekend. Eagles and Rams at the Link, 1 p.m. I expect some fireworks there. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5, you get $200 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, score over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. All you got to do is just download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code BRACE. That's code BRACE to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you place your first $5 bet. Plus, over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus. Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. See sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos. NFL Sunday Ticket offer for new subscribers only and auto renews until canceled. Digital games and commercial use excluded. Restrictions apply. Additional NFL Sunday Ticket terms at youtube.com/go/NFL Sunday Ticket/terms. Limited time offer.
This isn't just a game, it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Come be part of a legacy that never stops. The Harlem Globetrotters 100-year tour. Get your tickets today at harlemglobetrotters.com.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at tmobile.com.
Parking shouldn't slow you down. ParkWiz gives every driver a shortcut. Book ahead, save up to 50%, and skip the hassle of circling the block. Park smarter, park faster. ParkWiz. Download the ParkWiz app today and save every time you park.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Looking for sun protection that actually works and feels great? Wear SPF by PGA Pro Justin Thomas has you covered, both on and off the course. Dermatologist tested and sweat resistant, it's broad spectrum SPF that won't mess up your swing or your skin. From the first tee to everyday life, Wear SPF is a high-performance skincare collection that helps you protect yourself like the pros. It's par for the course. Shop now at wearspf.com and stay sun safe all year long. That's wearspf.com.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com.
The Gambler. Philly's home for all things sports
And here
gambling.
we have a specimen from the early 2000s, a legacy investing platform. Please don't touch the exhibit, folks. It could crash.
Ready to step out of the financial history museum? At public.com, you can invest in almost everything: stocks, bonds, options, and more. You could even put your cash to work at an industry-leading 4.1% APY. Leave your clunky, outdated platform behind. Go to public.com and fund your account in 5 minutes or less. Paid for by Public Investing Inc., member FINRA and SIPC. Full disclosures at public.com/disclosures.
Looking for the perfect place to host your next birthday dinner, corporate meeting, or special celebration? Randall's Restaurant in Cherry Hill, New Jersey now offers private dining for parties of 10 or more. Enjoy elevated cuisine, attentive service, and a private yet welcoming space designed to make every moment special. Whether it's business-oriented or a night of fun, Randall's brings people together around the table. Book your private dinner or event today at randallslegacy.com. That's randallslegacy.com.
CEOs You Should Know, brought to you by Comcast Business.
Tony O'Donovan, President and CEO of Arkema Inc. Well, Arkema is a specialty materials company. Our purpose is to bring sustainable solutions to the world, which really means that we're bringing a lot of materials to companies that impact people's lives. You see them in a lot of products that you touch day to day. We have composites that can be completely recycled. Probably our biggest aspect is providing durability for materials that our customers can use. So whether it's a 3D printed machine part that can be used and that's stronger than steel used in aerospace, we see ourselves very much as part of the community. For instance, our partnership with Habitat for Humanity brings the ability to be part of the community, support Philadelphia. Our employees really enjoy volunteering and seeing the impact they bring to people's lives, particularly around areas of education. Plus, one of our areas that we are in the market of is sport. So that brings about our association with the Philadelphia Union Foundation. If I look at Philadelphia compared to other places I've lived, we have really good people that are very well internationally connected, highly educated, and a good sense of community, and really tie into some of the values that Arkema likes to portray around solidarity, inclusion, performance. Those are values we want to have, and the people fit really well. So we find that people that join Arkema from the Philadelphia region are really successful with us.
To find out more, go to Arkema.com. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Life doesn't wait, and neither should you. Aleve can help you deal with pain less throughout your day. With just one pill, Aleve lasts up to 12 hours. Don't let those aches and pains hold you back from doing what's important to you. Use as directed.
Here's what's trending on the iHeart Sports Network, presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Eagles defensive tackle Jalen Carter is on track to play Sunday against the Rams after nursing a shoulder injury earlier this week. To baseball, where the Phillies continue their road trip tonight with the first of 3 games in Arizona. Philly is 3 games behind Milwaukee for baseball's best record. And Dodgers left-hander Clayton Kershaw, he's retiring after this season after winning 2 World Series and 3 Cy Young Awards over 18 years. I'm Scott Davidson.
The NFL season is rolling. Score big with DraftKings Sportsbook, the #1 place to bet touchdowns. New customers download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code SPORTS to get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. That's code SPORTS only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 and over. Pennsylvania only. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms or responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
Here we go. Yes. Philadelphia Eagles 2-0, and everybody has something to say about the Birds. As folks, this team just continues to find ways to win, and that's all we give a damn about. 19 out of the last 20 times your Philadelphia Eagles have taken the field, they have found a way to win the game. The only time that they have lost out of the last 20 games was in that game against the Commanders on the road, and of course where Jalen Hurts exited the game in the first quarter because of a concussion. And I'll tell you what, every one of those games, our next guest has led the Green Legion, of course, home and to enemy territory, and has been cheering on those Philadelphia Eagles in every one of those spots. And on Sunday, we're raising it up another level with the folks from Green Legion Radio and the man himself, Quimby, joining us right now. Quimby, I'm fired up. Sunday, we're bringing Green Legion Radio to new heights, sir. Sorry, don't mean to steal Kelsey and their podcast saying there. But bottom line is we will be live at 9 a.m., getting everybody ready, bringing the tailgate, of course, to the radio. And now the television screen. We are teaming up with our friends from Fox 29 to stream on the Fox local app, and it's available wherever you have your streaming platforms on television, whether it's Amazon Fire Stick, Apple, Roku, you name it, you can find the Fox local app. So download it now, select Fox 29, and you're going to watch myself, Quimby, Chris Sack, Mike Diaz, Super Sam, and Eagles Hall of Famer Trey Thomas this Sunday. Quimby, how you feeling, sir?
I'm good. I have nothing else to say now. You said it all.
Woo!
Actually, I do have 2 things to say.
Oh, please.
One is, we lost that game against the Commodes, and if you remember, Mr. Sure-handed Devontae Smith dropped the ball, which I guarantee would have won that game for us. So you want to talk about almost 20 for 20. It's a beautiful time to be a Birds fan. And the second thing is, man, who the hell would have ever thought we were going to be on TV? somebody's making some really bad decisions somewhere. I don't know.
Well, you know what the good thing is the only reason why I believe they were like, you know what? Hey, because we're doing it 4 times this year, and every one of them is the 1 o'clock kicks. So they're getting us at 9 a.m. And I think that was probably part of the process of the people that were signing us up going, yeah, this is a good idea. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, hold on. Definitely do not want them at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
I get it.
Monday night, Thursday night game. No, we're good on that. But the 1 o'clocks, how about the 1 o'clocks, guys? We'll get you on at 9 a.m. I guarantee that was part of the process.
When we're not on our 4th shot of Jameson, but our 2nd cup of coffee.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly.
Hey, on that note, man, it's been a hell of a ride, man. And I've told you this before. You believed in me, you believed in us, and I really appreciate that. Yeah. And that goes along with knowing full well my reputation, which is being kind of a ball ache. But
define ball ache.
You're one of the reasons. At times. At times.
It's all right.
And you know what? I've thought about this, and one thing we haven't talked about, and this one falls on me. Just a slight, sincere and sympathetic note. None of this would have happened without Towels. Either.
Oh man, dude, you're not lying there. Good grief, yeah, it's
Yeah.
I appreciate you I appreciate you saying that because we need that reminder. I do. I know that. I know Jeff Moore.
I do too.
I do too. That's something that I don't connect enough. And Jeff Moore, of course, who named with the lovely Rebecca their brand new baby daughter Tally, in honor of that. And he even said,
right?
The fact that talking about you and how we continue to keep this going. He always says, this is a huge reason why I would never answer the phone if it wasn't for Tat. I kid. He doesn't say that.
Well, no, to be honest, Jeff as well, knowing full well, the level of frustration I can sometimes bring has been, he picked up every bit of what Talarito was to me and for me, and man, it's I'm not a very God-fearing individual, but it's a blessing, man. This whole team, Powers, Slash, Jansen, getting Jansen back in studio after a bit of a hiatus. I think it's a good thing for everybody.
Damn right it is. Great thing for me.
It's just right. But it's humbling. It's a very humbling experience. And considering, I never had any radio training. I don't know what I'm doing. When we first started our player show at Chickies and Pete's with Spadaro, with Spudge, I didn't even, he's like, I come in on the first show. All right, everybody, here we are, and we've got it. And Dave goes, and this is Green Legion Radio, and we're at Chickies and Pete's. He's kind of schooling me on air, on the ins and outs that I never really had any experience with. And now, I don't know, here it is, once again, it's humbling. And it's humbling not only for myself and Diaz and Zach, who also have no radio experience, and Super Sam, but it's just humbling being around the level of talent and personality and humility that is filled with our station.
Well, I just want to say this.
Powers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Across the board. I just want to say this. I would put the focus on you, put the focus on your team, the Green Legion, of course, the number one choice for Philly sports fans traveling to, of course, away games. But the way you guys have been able to build up down there now at Stateside Live, of course, formerly Xfinity Live, outside 1100 Social, and the write-ups that we have seen with now the transformation over to Stateside Live, the relationships, the partnerships that you have built over the years, specifically with the folks at Stateside. And Ryan Quigley's going to join us on Sunday. Can't wait to talk a little bit more about that. Excuse me, Matt
Quigley.
I apologize.
Yeah. Matt's going to be joining us at 9:15.
I love it.
To Tell the story.
But,
Sorry, please.
But no, the thing I would say is that, and I often say this, I say it a lot, that bottom line is this: you guys have been going to enemy territory, and there is another radio station. There's 2 other radio stations in town that don't do that. That's number one. That's pre-pandemic, post-pandemic, whatever. It didn't matter. Quimby's been doing that from the beginning. He's been going live from the beginning, doing his thing from the beginning. So that's number one. And number two, you guys, and I mean this sincerely, you guys had that McAfee show vibe before Pat McAfee was a thing. And I just remember going like, these guys are nuts. And then all of a sudden now it's front and center on ESPN from 12 to 2. I'm like, that's Quimby and Company. That's what they were doing. They had Reggie, like that sort of thing where they're joining in. So like, dude, this was an easy mix. This was an easy win for everybody to have the Legion join. Of course, us here in the Gambler, but this has been above and beyond anything that my wildest expectations. And then where we're at now, going live on Sunday, and full disclosure to people at Fox, love what we bring, love the sound of your show, love everything we're doing, Fox 29, and they're trying to do different things, and there is real potential of us doing some monster things if this goes right. So no pressure on Sunday, Quimby, all right?
Yeah. Monster things can happen,
yes.
So no pressure.
No pressure.
At all. You know what? It's... some of the stuff that transpired while this deal was going down, and I don't want anybody to think because we're going to be on TV that it's going to be any less rowdy.
Nope.
But it's
going to be rowdier.
Yeah, I know. I'm
It's going to be.
I'm going to be the guy in the corner worried while you're running the show, which is great. and if something goes wrong, I'm just pointing the finger straight at you.
Hey, something goes wrong, just tee Trey up. Just tee him up on a question. Trey, tell us about, blocking on the tush push. What does it work? How does it go? Yeah, that's our out. That's our emergency exit at all times. Trey on the tush push.
By the way, you want to talk about somebody that is excited about this whole thing.
Oh, man. He's
Trey is.
He's meant to be.
He is. He's funny, man.
He's so good.
He is. He's so knowledgeable, and he knows the limit to where to put the edge and how to find the humor in it. I find that fascinating about him. When
he's not your typical he's not your typical player that gets on the radio. He is an entertainer on top of the X's and O's with the knowledge. And oh, by the way, his name happens to be in the Ring of Honor down there. Like, he's an Eagles Hall of Famer,
Yeah.
Ho hum. Yeah. And we have that guy. That guy's going to be on our show on Sunday.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I don't know how we're going to fit everybody on that new stage, but hey,
we'll make it work.
Hey, man, stop touching me under the table.
Yeah, that's it. I hope that's your foot. It's going to be a fast hour, Quimby. It's going to be a fast hour, and I have a feeling that this is going to be the best pregame before the game that we have ever had down there. I can't wait to be rocking out with you guys and girls from Green Legion. Folks, once again, check out everything Quimby and Company have to offer right now. Trips.greenlegion.com. The number one choice for Philly sports fans traveling to away games. And oh, by the way, nobody does it better at home games with the 1100 Social, the spread, barbecue, tree on the DJ and the music, all booze included. I mean, you were talking about the best of the best. If you're going to an Eagles home game, trust me, it takes everything out of your hands and you will look like the king or the queen that you are. Just book it at trips.greenlegion.com. That's simple. Quimby, anything else you want to set us up here before we get out of here today, sir?
Nope. Everything. I barely had enough to say after your intro.
Let's go. Dude, I'm fired up.
Yeah, hold on. Let's go. That's it. That's the tee up.
Over, under 2.5 Eagles chance in the first segment. Where you at?
Over.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure of that.
That's a good bet. Quimby, do me a favor, get some rest on Saturday night, please.
I'm not doing anything tomorrow night, sir.
Okay. I will see you bright and early on Sunday live from Stateside Live.
Looking forward to it, my man.
My dog, there he is, Quimby. Green Legion on Sunday. Let's go! Ah, man. Streaming on the Fox local app. I just downloaded it last night. Shame on me. Shame on me to being late to the party. Fox 29 is doing a lot of local programming on it. Chris O'Connell and Tom Loudon are talking soccer. They had Ali Bedoya on a show there. Alex Hawley, I think, had a show. Jen Fred's got a show that she's doing at noon. Mike Jarrett's now doing a show at night that you can find there. Everything that is on Fox 29, you can find on the Fox local app, but there's also other shows that aren't on Fox 29 that you can find as well. Really sharp, really good. And you know about the Fox affiliates across the country, coast to coast, so you can pick or choose what you want. Obviously, we want to stay here in Philly, so it's that easy. Download the app no matter where you are streaming from. Amazon Fire Stick, Apple TV, Roku, you name it. Fox local app, Fox 29. All you got to do is select, and most of the time your GPS will kick in as far as where you're at with the TV, as it did for me last night. Click that. Next thing you know, I'm skimming. I'm like, wow, look at this. This is sharp. It's next level, and they're putting a ton of work into the Fox local app. So we are so grateful for the opportunity. We got 4 of them. There's 4 1:00 games. They said it. They go, let's go with the 1:00s. We'll get you on at 9. Let's see what you guys and girls can do. I do want to give a shout out to Mike Powers and, of course, Give Us a Shot Network. Those guys have been working really hard behind the scenes, and they're going to make it sharp. Like this is a real production. This isn't one camera with StreamYard and, that sort of deal. No, we have a camera for the crowd. We are right there outside 1100 Social with Lincoln Financial Field in our backdrop. All right. Stateside. We are coming to you live from Stateside Live. Ashley Furniture, the presenting sponsor, so many others that we need to thank, and we will on Sunday. But trust me, when it comes to 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., nobody's going to get you ready for Eagles and Rams like Green Legion Radio at Stateside Live on the Fox local app. And, oh, by the way, if you're in the car, just get it right here on The Gambler. All right, I'm late for a break. Ryan Coyle is going to join me on the other side, also known as Beef. College football, NFL, Rams and Eagles deep dive. More after this.
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Traffic is crawling 295 southbound, 73 to approaching 30. The good news is the crash that spawned that delay has just been cleared. A watch for jam traffic on the Walt Whitman into New Jersey, down to 42 south of Creek Road. Fire to tell it total traffic.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. The slow-roasted Cantina chicken menu is here to stay, with ingredients like purple cabbage and freshly prepared pico de gallo. Try it today at a participating U.S. Taco Bell location while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies.
Time now for your Friday BetMGM Baseball Buzz. The Cleveland Guardians' miracle run continues after a sweep of the Tigers. They're just 3.5 games out of first place in the AL Central after being 12.5 games out on August 25th. Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw announces that he's retiring after the end of the season. 18 years in Dodger blue. Step up to the plate with BetMGM, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Bet on any MLB game to activate an odds boost token. If your boosted bet hits, you'll score a bigger payout. No opt-in is required. MLB trademarks used with permission. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for full terms. 21 plus. This U.S. promo offer is not available in Mississippi, New York, Nevada, Ontario, or Puerto Rico. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 1 to 7 days in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel. And that's your Friday BetMGM Baseball Buzz.
Hey, Sean Brace here, and the cash contest is back. That's right, starting on Monday. Be sure to tune in, and you can catch 9 times. Hey, Sean Brace here, and guess what? The cash contest is back. Starting next Monday, listen up for the keyword at the top of every hour, 9 times a day, and all you have to do is go to our website, and you could enter to win $1,000. That's it. The cash contest is back, happening again for the next 8 weeks right here on The Gambler. 9 times a day, top of the hour, keyword, enter to win $1,000. Who hooks you up more than The Gambler? Nobody.
Huge savings on Dell AI PCs with Intel Core Ultra processors are here, and they're newly designed to help you do more faster. They can generate code, edit images, multitask without lag, draft emails, summarize documents, create live translations, and even extend your battery life. That's the power of Dell AI with Intel inside. Upgrade today by visiting Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
I'm Dan, he's Ty. Hello. And we're the Solid Verbal College Football Podcast.
Tune in for previews, recaps, bits you won't hear anywhere else, and all the emotional support you need as a college football fan.
Join us all season long as we ride the roller coaster of this ridiculous sport.
Open your free iHeartRadio app, search the Solid Verbal College Football Podcast, and listen now.
We don't just love college football, Ty. We live it.
Number 1 on your car radio preset and the new and improved iHeartRadio app. WDAS and WD273D Philadelphia is Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler.
Pass, fires, it's intercepted, picked off by Terrell Bernard, coming the other way and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Terrell Bernard, Mr. Fourth Quarter, comes up huge. He read Tua like a book.
I'll tell you what, if you can get yourself a nickname, Mr. Fourth Quarter is not bad. I think that's something that you would like to be called no matter the sport. This is a Daily Ticket with you here on a Football Friday. Of course, the Buffalo Bills improved to 3-0. I did take them in the Survivor pool last night. You know what? Call me lazy. I don't give a damn. I'm advancing. I'm on to week 4. You want to save the Buffalo Bills because you're cool? Good. Good luck. Talk to me around Thanksgiving and Black Friday if you're still in it. That's my favorite. Well, you can't use the Eagles. What are you going to do Black Friday? I don't know. I'll figure something out when I get to Thanksgiving. It's September, for crying out loud. Anyways, they didn't cover the number, but we did have a couple winning props. Folks, a lot to chew on tonight. We got some Friday Night Lights. We got baseball we need to talk about coming up in a little bit. But joining us right now on the Gambler Hotline, my co-host for all things college football rundown, the one and only Mr. Beef himself. Beef, how you doing today, man?
Mr. Fourth Quarter, that's what they've been calling me recently at the bar because I'm always closing late.
How did I know that was coming? How did I? Let's give him a roaring round of applause on that one. Whoa! Let's give him we'll give him the organ too on that one as well. Nice. Except for last Saturday when you were cutting a rug everywhere. Just so you know, the cameras Beef celebrated his birthday on Saturday, so of course he did it right. We were up at Happy Valley. The cameras were out, and Beef was cutting a rug. Feeling it, having a blast. I hope you enjoyed the trip to Happy Valley because you look like you did.
It was fun for sure. And then, keep it going on Sunday at McGillen's for the Eagles game. Was feeling it till about Tuesday, but Friday afternoon comes around, we're ready to go for another weekend full of football.
Yeah, that's right. We got Conchi Fun Fest tomorrow, so we're gonna have some fun in Conchi, and we'll catch some games too as well. And we got a lot to discuss as far as college football, especially at noon with a great kickoff there between Utah and Texas Tech. We'll talk about that game, but I do want to open up with some Friday Night Lights. 2 games to choose from. Are either one of these talking to you?
Yeah, I'm going to go with the under in that Rutgers-Iowa game. I just feel like historically that is a 17-10 type of ball game. Number up, I think, at 45.5. I got the under at this morning. I was buying into Iowa maybe being a little bit better on the offensive end this year. They haven't really shown it thus far. They had UMass last week. That was their best offensive output of the season, but Temple put up a bunch of points on that UMass team as well. So Rutgers, Iowa, I expect it to be a slugfest type of game, keep away, and you're probably playing somewhere like a 17-13 type ball game, and you're feeling pretty safe in that one with the under.
Are you calling from a whale's stomach? It sounds like I'm in a whale right now, like Moby Dick. Are you inside a whale?
I'm in the car.
I figured. I'm messing with you. All right. We were out and about, of course, and I know you go back and you consume media any which way you possibly could throughout the course of the week. From Saturday's games, was there a result that made you go, wow, that really took place? That happened and surprised you after results said and done, going back and look at some of the numbers and maybe you're applying that to this week's game?
Not so much applying it to this week's game, but just the way that Georgia went down early 21-7 and was able to kind of fight their way back. A lot of people throughout the week were saying, if Kirby Smart wasn't the coach of that team, there's no way they come back. And it goes to show you just kind of the will and the testament of that team, where it's definitely not the most talented Georgia squad that we've seen, but still, when they have that coach and everyone's playing together, everyone's playing hard, they can beat anyone in the country. And when you go to Neyland Stadium, Stanford Steve was saying it earlier this week that was probably the loudest stadium he's heard in quite some time. You're able to go on the road there and win. Gunnar Stockton just getting another win under his belt, more experience. I think you really got to be buying stock into Georgia as potentially that top dog there in the SEC. And then for A&M to do what they did and win in pretty chaotic fashion against Notre Dame last week. A&M is probably going to be like a 10-2, 11-1 team. That game at the end of the season against Texas too, that might even set up for a potential berth to the SEC title game. Marcel Reed's looking awesome. So I think Georgia and A&M finding ways to go on the road last week and beat 2 ranked teams were my kind of winners of the week and most impressive teams for me.
Yeah, Reed is just doing it and doing it in a big way. And A&M, Elko, the coach, he's pretty darn good. And there's a reason why he got that gig, and now he's proven his worth. That was a monster victory, the way that they ended up winning it in South Bend yesterday. So watch out for them. I don't think they're getting enough attention. Hey, while we're on last Saturday, real quick, if I can.
Johnson to the near side, trips to the far side. Final play of the game, 4 seconds to go. 4th and goal from the 8. Isaiah Wright to the right of Maddox. Maddox gets the snap. Back to pass. Trying to buy some time. Rolling to his right. He's at the 10. He throws to the end zone. And can he make an incredible catch in the back of the end zone? Binkowski made an absolutely spectacular catch. Touchdown Villanova on the final play of this football game.
What unbelievable beef. Binkowski. I need a Binkowski jersey from Villanova after what took place up there at Happy Valley. 52-0 final play. Spread was 48.5. Of course, you heard that call right here on The Gambler. The great Ryan Fannin. Villanova hooks up with Binkowski at the end to cover the spread. We were the only 4 people at a Penn State bar that had the plus 48, and you could hear a pin drop. That was the coolest thing. I just want to say this. Everybody, there wasn't an empty seat, and everybody was still watching a 52-0 game on a final play for one reason and one reason only, and you know it. It's all about the spread, ATS, baby.
Yeah, and I love the Nova announcer there, too. You couldn't tell me that was a 52-0 ball game. It sounds like they just won the CAA championship. So shout out to him for bringing the energy. But yeah, that was cool. But Villanova should have covered the spread on the play before. I thought that was a catch. They made a ridiculous catch in the end zone as well. But that was one of those perfect kind of ball don't lie moments. But that was a funny way to kind of end that afternoon. I did see Villanova, the quarterbacks, they both got banged up a little bit last week. And when we were talking to Coach Ferrante, that was kind of their main goal, make it out healthy. The name's escaping me right now, but the quarterback, the normal starter, is going to be back, it looks like, this week. But the guy who was backing him, the guy who's backing him up, it sounds like he might be out for a little bit of time. So other than that, hopefully Nova made it healthy. But when you go and play Penn State, that's what you're kind of running into. And if they were able to take a few things out of that game, a few lessons that they can apply going forward this week against Monmouth and the rest of the season, I think that trip, all in all, will be just considered a success and a pretty wild memory as well.
Yeah, well said. We will be live from 1 to 3 when Villanova hosts William and Mary coming up on the 27th from 1 to 3 p.m. outside Villanova Stadium on the main line. And, of course, getting you ready for that game. Ryan Fannin will be on the call. Fantastic job by him. And you're right. The thing that I will remember looking out on that field was the size advantage that Penn State had on both offense and defense, whether it's the offensive lineman or the defensive lineman compared to Villanova. That is just a different stratosphere when it comes to the player's size. And Ferrante was real about it. He didn't, he wasn't shying away from that fact. And it's just tough competition when you start to go into that world. And we're talking about a potential national champion with Penn State. Franklin's a hell of a recruiter. He's got some great players. Curious, at the look-ahead line, 3-point spread against Oregon. Anything for you right now? I know we got some time to kill, but bottom line is they're not playing. Both teams are off. Oregon making the trip, wide out. I think it's an afternoon game, right? Or is it a night game?
No, it's the night game. I thought I saw Oregon was playing this week. I thought they had Oregon State this week.
Is Oregon taking on Oregon State? Did I get that wrong?
I know Penn State's on the bye. Yeah, Oregon's a 34.5-point favorite at home against Oregon State.
Bad job by me. All right. Well, they're at home taking on Oregon State, and we talked to Julain Edlow. That's right. He did say that. I'm an idiot. Bottom line is they shouldn't have any issues with the Beavers. Oregon will come on the road here. Does that play in your handicap? The fact that they're playing somebody and Penn State's off.
Yeah, I mean, Penn State definitely does have that extra time to prepare. This is the one for Franklin. Like everything you want at home, you got the rest advantage, you got the whiteout. Fox didn't screw you and put this game at noon. Everything really that you wanted lined up is lined up. Nobody's no major injuries. Aller's healthy. Both backs are healthy. I think you're able to work out some kinks. And basically my kind of take that we talked about after their week 1 game against Nevada, where it was like, all right, they have a 3-game kind of preseason stretch here before they get into Big Ten conference play and the first big game against Oregon. Everything that I think they wanted to see, they were able to accomplish. The passing game looked pretty solid, and most importantly, they made it out healthy. Now it's time to roll. And we talked about it in the preseason. If not now, then when for this Penn State team. So I do like them, the -3. The look-ahead line, I think, at the beginning of the summer was like 6.5, and Oregon's looked pretty damn impressive so far, but Oregon hasn't really played anyone either. So as of right now, I do like Penn State -3. I think it's going to be a raucous atmosphere. It's hard to imagine them losing that game up there, and I think if they're going to win it, it's probably by a touchdown.
Yeah, we got to figure out where we're watching that game, because kicking off at 7:30 as well will be Alabama and Georgia, which is a 4-point spread right now for them dogs. So that is 2 monster games going off at 7:30. My goodness. Enough of next weekend, though. Let's talk about tomorrow. And again, we hit on a little bit of Utah, of course, with that Texas Tech game. I do want to get over to Indiana and Illinois, because I'm looking at Illinois. They have USC next weekend where they're catching 1.5 at noon. Could potentially be a spot for the big noon kickoff, and that number could shift all over the place if Illinois is able to beat Indiana. First of all, my question to you, putting the point spread to the side, is Indiana a better team this year compared to last year in your mind?
I think so, because I think Fernando Mendoza is a better quarterback than Rourke. But you also look at like Cignetti and his history, whether it's been at James Madison and now in Indiana. He kind of just has like a plug-and-play system where if you have a guy that comes in there and kind of follows what he's taught and what he's coached to do, he goes out there and succeeds. Mendoza, the transfer from Cal, has looked pretty awesome so far. No turnovers. But as with a lot of these teams, like this is his first big test, his first major test. But I do kind of like this Indiana team better because they brought back a lot of guys from last year. They bring back their major number one receiver in Surratt, and it's a team that went through the fire last year, went all the way to the college football playoff. I think they're being a little bit disrespected in the national rankings, but I think Vegas certainly likes them because that number is up to what, 6.5 now?
That's correct. So let's talk about that game itself. It's 6.5 here. And like, how many is too many? I get it. Like there should be some love for Indiana. Great program. And they're at home, building off of what they were able to do last year. I could see people buying in, but this number continues to creep up. It's a 7:30 kickoff. Where's the respect for Illinois, and how many is too many? I think we're at that point, Beef.
Yeah, Vegas doesn't respect Illinois, I think. Going back to saying that they respect Indiana, it might just be more of a disrespect of Illinois because you look at next week, too, where you just mentioned it, against USC at home. They're a 1.5-point dog in that spot.
Correct.
That's like that's a head scratcher as well. So whatever they're doing so far, I guess Vegas isn't liking. But I do like this Illinois squad. I think they're a tough team. I thought they showed a lot in that game against Duke a couple weeks ago. Shout out to Nick McClay. He brought up this to me earlier this week. This Illinois team brings the most pressure out of any Power 4 team. So let's see what Mendoza can do, what this kind of Indiana offensive line can do, handling all this pressure. But it's a scenario where I feel like the entire world, when they see the number 9 team as a 6.5-point underdog against the number 19 team, everyone's going to be like, oh, you got to take Illinois in this spot. I think it's a scenario where, as we've gone through the week, I think more and more likely we're going to see Indiana kind of run away with this game at home. Probably the biggest home game in school history. And also, when you look kind of at these teams' schedule going forward, these teams are probably going 9-3 or 10-2. I think it's really the winner of this game has kind of the leg up, obviously, to go to the college football playoff. But a lot of people all week have been saying this is kind of like an elimination game. So the loser of this one is going to have a really tough uphill climb with some big dogs still left on their schedule to make the playoff. I like Indiana to win this one, and I think I'm actually going to lay the 6.5 with them as well.
We're going head to head this week. We're going head to head in a lot of games, and we're going to go head to head next week as far as Oregon and Penn State, I think, as well. But yeah, I got to back Illinois. They really impressed me with that game against Duke, and they're being doubted here. They are explosive on offense, good quarterback play. I like the coach. I think that they can go in there and keep this close and win the game outright. So might even have a little something on the money line there. Looking forward to that game because it's definitely one that has my attention. You know what else has my attention? Maryland and Wisconsin. And you know why it does? Because Sam Ostry sat right across from me yesterday and said it's his favorite play of the weekend. Now, he's a Maryland alum. We know he fights for the Terps, no doubt. But we're talking about 10-point spread here. Maryland on the road, catching 10. They're getting great quarterback play this year. Taking out Wisconsin. This is a noon kickoff. Where are you at on this one? Any feel on this one, Beef?
My guy, Joe Kometz, this is his favorite underdog of the week as well. He has Maryland plus 10.
Nice.
This Wisconsin team and the program under Fickle hasn't really taken off like a lot of people expected. I'm not sure if Billy Edwards is back this week. College football injury reports are always very kind of vague, but he was the former starting quarterback at Maryland. He transfers to Wisconsin, and he gets hurt in the first game. So they still might be down their starting quarterback. I'm sure playing against his old school, he's going to do everything he can to play this one. But Washington, the freshman quarterback out of Maryland, has looked pretty good. He was like a 4 or 5-star kid. I don't know how he got to Maryland besides the fact that he's like a DMV kid. I think he went to Gonzaga or something down there in the D.C. area. But yeah, I definitely like Maryland to keep it within this 10, and another situation where wouldn't surprise me at all if they pulled off the outright win, because what has Wisconsin really shown you this season to say otherwise? They had the game against Miami of Ohio in week 1. I think that was like 17-3 or something like that, 17-0 even. They looked terrible last week against Alabama. They haven't done anything to convince me otherwise. So 10 points is a lot in college football. Give me Maryland plus the 10 there. I like that.
Is there anybody that you think is in a letdown spot this Saturday? Is there a team that potentially had a big weekend that maybe going up against the competition that isn't grabbing their attention and they don't, bring it, and maybe they slide out with a victory, but we're talking about a 10 double-digit spread and don't cover the number? Is there a team you have your eye on that could be potentially looking at a letdown spot?
Looking at it, Here's a pretty interesting one. Ole Miss at home against Tulane. Shout out Tulane, starting out 3-0 with Retzlaff in there at the quarterback spot now. Tulane is setting themselves up pretty well to be that potential G5 team into the college football playoff. And we know Ole Miss, they have SEC play ahead of them. So they're probably just wanting to escape this one by the skin of their teeth. That one's at like 12.5 right now. Next week, they have LSU Ole Miss on the schedule. Home game next week against LSU. If you win these next two, you're probably a top 5 team in the country going into your week 6 bye week. So a clear look ahead spot here, but this is a damn good Tulane team who's already beat 2 Power 5 teams, not the greatest in Duke and Northwestern, but still they own 2 wins, over Power 4 teams. Tulane, I'm not going to say is a live dog for me, but 12.5 points is a lot. I think they could certainly keep that under 10 with that look ahead spot for Ole Miss against LSU next week.
All right. Our good friend Colin Good just hit us up for the $26 fee for our pool here that I came up short in. I'm not sure how you did, but I'm ready for this next stretch here as we are already a quarter of the way in the college football season. Slow down, please. Slow down. This happened last year. Just remember last year, you and I were doing some talking, and it was like, dude, like, all right, we're already in October. We got to get the next, snap of the fingers. We're talking about a national championship game. This is the best. There's nothing better than college football. It feels like, Arch and Ohio State was just yesterday, and here we are. But that's all right. We got some good games. Excited about it. We got Ryan Beef Coyle talking all things college football. All right, one winner. Give us one winner on the way out for tomorrow's card. What's your favorite play?
I'm going to go to the late nightcap. So if you're especially looking to have it, if you're having a bad day and you're looking to chase late night, the over in the USC Michigan State game, 55.5, 56.5. I think this game gets well into the 60s. Lincoln Riley's taken over at USC. They're the best team in the country to the over. Now you could say that might have to do with some of their dreaded defenses, and the defense is a little bit better. But still, the offense is clicking this year. Mayava really fits the system. And Aiden Childs over at Michigan State, and that offense has been putting up a ton of points as well. So I think that's a fun kind of shootout late. And then one really early in the day I like as well, Arkansas and Memphis. I think that is a shootout as well. If you haven't heard the name yet, you're going to by the end of the season. Kalen Green at Arkansas, a big-time playmaker, year 2 for him with Bobby Petrino. That offense is putting up points, and they can't stop a nosebleed either. Memphis, historically, under this coach, has been able to put up some points. So a little noon over there, and then a 11 o'clock at night over as well I like this week.
That's what we like to hear, baby. Ryan Beef Coyle, you can find him on socials at Ryan Coyle 35. He records all throughout the course of the week. He's got a number of shows, Beef up front. Of course, you can hear him right here on the College Football Rundown Show every Saturday. We'll have him and McClay with Football is King on the airwaves tomorrow as well. Can't wait to hear that. And yeah, tell McClay I said what up. He sent me some stats. I'm going to have it for him on the other side. He was supposed to hop on with me, but he had a 9 to 5 pull him to the other side. So it's all good. I appreciate you trying to find some time here, though, Beef. Safe travels. And we'll see you tomorrow at Fun Fest out there in Concha. You ready to go?
Yeah, we got a little pregame at a friend's house, I think around like 2-ish, and going to make our way over there in the afternoon. So
2-ish.
Looking forward to see what's in store.
2-ish. I'll be home by 2.
Yeah, I mean, well, you'll find your way out later.
Yeah, that's probably
you usually do.
Yeah, exactly. Beef, you're the best. I'll talk to you later. Always a pleasure.
Peace.
There he is, Ryan Beef Coyle on the Gambler Hotline, live from a whale's stomach. We were in the Atlantic. That sounded like a whale in the Atlantic somewhere. I kid. Who's driving home? So we appreciate that. A lot of good college football, no doubt about it. A lot of good college football this weekend. Everybody's fast forward and looking into next weekend. Don't get me wrong. Crazy games on the 27th. That was a day that we were looking at the calendar, the schedule, going, yeah, that's the Saturday that you just need to have nothing going on. But luckily, those games are happening at night, so we will definitely be front and center in front of a screen for that one. Here's the deal, though. I do have some interesting nuggets, courtesy of Nick McClay from Football is King. He sent that over because he was originally supposed to join us today. He was supposed to get McClay, and McClay has been on this station many, many times. I don't think I've ever had him on my show, so it was going to be a first time. McClay's hitting. He's hitting a lot of props. I'm seeing a lot of green check marks. And whether it's NFL, as he did last night, he cashed 2 props in the first half. and he's continuing to win. I know NFL more than anything. I believe that's the case. So he gave me a bunch of his plays that he has already. Tyler Warren over 45.5 yards at -112. He's back, and Brian Thomas Jr. when everybody is out on BTJ over 59.5. Yeah, he says it's another buy low spot here. Got a bunch of NFL plays, got a bunch of college football plays as well. I'm going to go ahead and cut these down, have them for you on the other side. Some nuggets that are jumping off the page to me, see if we can find a winner or two there. Back in Iowa tonight, though, if you need a little extra juice or something to get you going this evening, Iowa and Rutgers. We're going to back Iowa, and Beef City likes the under on that one. So if you're looking for two-way action, that's how we're going to play here as far as the gambler is concerned. We'll continue the conversation on the other side. I do want to hit some playoff baseball. Obviously, the Phillies are back in action. Tough series against the Diamondbacks. It's seeming like the Phillies are going to be the 2, right? I just don't see how they're going to catch that 1. It's possible, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. It's all good. They finish up with the 2 spot. Beautiful. Let's go. Let's bring on some postseason action. However, for the weekend, I'm giving you a homework assignment. We got a banger of a series between the Astros and the Seattle Mariners. We've got some other teams that'll be clinching, so we'll give you some reasons to pay attention to the out-of-town scoreboard as far as Major League Baseball is concerned. Of course, we'll combine that with some odds on DraftKings Sportsbook as far as yes or the no on the playoffs. Always a fun market to discuss. So we got a lot to do, only a little time. Hey, coming up at 6 o'clock, brand new, X's and the U. Sebastian Letou and Matty G leading the charge. All things Philadelphia Union discussion. And now the Union, I think leaking oil is probably okay to say right now with 4 games left in the regular season. They got boat raced on Saturday 7-0. And that is something that just doesn't happen to the Union, whether with Jim Curtin or the new coach this year. But they got lumped. And then they had a tough game against Nashville on Tuesday, which was the semifinal in the Open Cup, and they ended up losing that game 3-1. It was a tough game. It didn't shock me that they lost, but it's just so fickle because this team was playing for big things, and they're still there. Like, there's still a lot to play for, but this is not the time to start leaking oil. You got to keep your foot on the gas, and I know that they're going to be hitting a ton of that. Of course, Sebastian knows about a thing or two when it comes to playing for the Philadelphia Union in the MLS. He's the only name that's on the stadium. So you could hear his thoughts on all things Philadelphia Union coming up at 6 o'clock, brand new X's and the U. On the other side, we'll talk some football and squeeze in some postseason potential Major League Baseball conversation. Of course, we got some regular season wrap-up to get to first, though. Daily Ticket, more after this.
The ultimate celebration of music.
Our 2025 iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One,
is happening tonight and tomorrow.
Live in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. 16 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage.
Streaming live only on Hulu.
And listen live on the free iHeartRadio app.
Tonight and tomorrow night, starting at 10:30.
Capital One is the proud presenting partner of iHeartRadio Music Festival, bringing great products, rewards, and services to its customers. What's in your wallet?
Fox Sports Radio, The Gambler. Now, total traffic for Philadelphia.
Virginia up on the wall, whipping into New Jersey down to 42 South at Creek Road, 295 southbound, heavy 38 to 70 and Warwick Road to 42. Schuylkill westbound, stopping at University Teacher Warden Boulevard to Belmont. Eastbound jam Blue Route to Belmont and Boulevard to South. 95 northbound backed up State Line, the Commodore Barry, Girard Point Bridge to Penn's Landing and Vine Expressway to Bridge. Southbound Janet Academy to the Betsy Ross at 420 to 320. Laura Totella, total traffic.
This report is sponsored by ParkWiz.
Parking shouldn't slow you down. ParkWiz gives every driver a shortcut. Book ahead, save up to 50%, and skip the hassle of circling the block. Park smarter, park faster. ParkWiz. Download the ParkWiz app today and save every time you park.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025. Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Stay tuned to Fox PHL The Gambler for the latest CEOs you should know.
Tony O'Donovan, President and CEO of Arkema Inc.
Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
It's your Friday Sports Minute brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Please gamble responsibly. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Week 3 of the NFL, Sunday in Cleveland. The 0-2 Browns host the 2-0 Packers. Green Bay, an 8-point road favorite. In Foxborough, Patriots and Steelers. Aaron Rodgers and the Pittsburgh Steelers, a 1.5-point road favorite. Game of the day in Philadelphia. The 2-0 Eagles hosting the 2-0 LA Rams. Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, a 3.5-point home favorite. Out west, NFC West showdown. The 2-0 Cardinals and 2-0 49ers. Niners, a slight 2.5-point home favorite. New to BetMGM, sign up today using code MINUTE to receive up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if you don't win your first bet. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. See BetMGM.com for full terms. 21 plus to wager. New customer offer subject to eligibility requirements. Promotions vary by market. Rewards are non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. And that's your Friday Sports Minute.
Get ready, Philly. Neon Nights is here. The one-of-a-kind retro party at Billy Penn Studios in Fishtown on September 19th. Live DJs, a hyped MC, and Eagles legend Hollis Thomas spinning the hits from the 70s, 80s, and today. Step onto the glowing LED dance floor, bask in the neon lights, and check out the ultimate party bus from No Fly Zone. It's the perfect night for partying and capturing unforgettable social moments. Doors open at 8 p.m. 18 and over with free parking. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. Don't miss Neon Nights.
Stop settling for weak sound. It's time to level up your game and bring the boom. Hit the town with the ultra-durable LG X Boom portable speaker and enjoy vibrant sound wherever you go. Elevate your listening experience to new heights because, let's be real, your music deserves it. The future of sound is now with LG X Boom. And for a limited time, save 25% at LG.com with code FALL25. Bring the boom. X Boom.
Hey, man, you all right? Need me to call 911? No, call Top Dog Law. Get top dollar for your accident at topdoglaw.com. Once again, that's topdoglaw.com. Football Friday here on the Daily Ticket. Sean Bray's riding solo. Coming up 6 o'clock, all things X's into you. Sebastian the 2, Matty G, Philadelphia Union conversation. Always fun to hear what they have to say as they keep us up to date. Big game coming up tomorrow. Got to find a way to win a game. And for some of these teams over to postseason action as far as baseball, I keep saying postseason action. We're not there. 8, 9 games, 10 games for some. Of course, all eyes on the postseason and potentially who will be left out of the mix. And let's fire up DraftKings Sportsbook, take a look at some of the numbers here. But some of the games that we have going off this evening, and that's the reason why you really need to pay attention more than anything, because a lot of these teams are playing for something right now. And you don't have to go any further than the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. Of course, the Diamondbacks are chasing down that third and final wild card spot currently owned by the New York Mets, 2-game advantage over the Diamondbacks at this point in time. The Diamondback season has been insane. Think about it. Think about everything that they gave up. Think about all the players that they gave up, 6 total players, I believe, that they traded at the deadline. And here they are knocking on the playoffs, knocking on the door. Got to give them a lot of credit. Something in the air down there in the desert, although they're winning on the road. I think, didn't they just sweep the last 2? This is a hot team right now. Minus 126, Ryan Nelson. I don't know if they swept. I think 4-6. They won the both series. Let's put it that way. Nelson on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Walker. Taijuan Walker. Here's the ball, sir. Plus 104. Now, Taiwan has had his moments this year that he's actually pitched well. So he isn't an automatic fade, but this is a really good squad right now. And so are the Phillies. That's the issue because just because you think Taiwan Walker's going to give it up doesn't mean that the bats are going to go silent. Could very well be a knock them down type of drag them out game where we get some fireworks, right? An ugly type game, 11 runs. I don't know. Don't really have a feel for it right now because the sense of urgency is there, but it feels like it's one-sided more than anything as far as the Diamondbacks are concerned. But again, that's definitely something to pay attention there. I was talking about some homework assignments. How about this? The Cleveland Guardians, they're a team to watch out for right now. They just swept the Detroit Tigers. They are 3.5 out of first place. They have 10 games left. Oh, by the way, they have 3 more games against the Detroit Tigers. To win the division, you can get the Guardians at plus 650. Now, that's a stretch to believe that they can get the job done, but the math is still there. The opportunities are still there. Something to keep our eyes on as far as that is concerned. Another matchup that we need to be paying attention to that does have playoff implications. And for my money, doesn't get any bigger than this because this is a game this is a division I have a play on, and I took the Mariners. Brian Wu taking on Hunter Brown. It's a 3-game series. The Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners right now going head-to-head for a 3-game series in Houston. Now, to point the people to the right direction, Astros and Mariners are currently all tied at the top of the West. Whoever wins this series will have the tiebreaker. This is about as big as it gets. And we are September 19th with 9 games left for a lot of teams out there. This is playoff baseball happening tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday in Houston. No Yordan Alvarez. Altuve has been struggling. The Mariners back and forth. I had a really good vibe on the Mariners. I don't anymore. I'm hoping for the best. But it is a really, really fun series to watch this weekend. And while we're there, talking about other games of substance here as far as Major League Baseball is concerned, let me pull up the wild card numbers because right here, right now, you are looking at the Cincinnati Reds and the Chicago Cubs. The Cubs are in. They have a 9-game advantage as far as, earlier today I clicked on this tab and it was showing me 2024. And I was like, wait a minute. The Dodgers have the best record in baseball. What is going on right now? When did that? No. And then I'm like 2024. Yeah. Stupid things happen from time to time. Anyways, this popped up 2024, 2025 right now. Yes, the Cubs and the Padres and the Mets are your 3 teams currently holding 3 wildcard spots. Cubs seem like they are fine. They're good to go. +9 advantage. Padres +4 advantage. With all the times that the Dodgers have been losing, Padres haven't been able to do much there. They have 83 wins, trailing the 86-win LA Dodgers for the division. However, they look like they're going to make the playoffs. And, I would imagine that that's probably going to be locked in here over the next 2 nights. They're not. Cubs are. They are locked into the playoffs. Mets are right behind the San Diego Padres. And then you got that Diamondbacks and the Reds and the Giants. Diamondbacks and Cincinnati Reds, 2 games out, both teams. So you got the Reds and the Cubbies going head-to-head. So the Cubs know that the Reds are playing for a little something there tonight. It's really intriguing. As I said, Giants, Reds, and Diamondbacks have an opportunity to catch the New York Mets. Will that be the case? Like I said, as far as the math ain't math, and you only got 9 games to make it happen, and I don't believe there's any head-to-head matchups there. So that's going to be really, really tough. But the Diamondbacks, as long as they continue to win, could potentially get in there. And again, they're taking on the Phillies. What are they going to get from the Phils? It looks like the Phils will be the 2 seed. It's going to be really hard for them to catch the Brew Crew for the overall number 1 spot, as the Brewers have 94 wins and the Phillies have 91 wins. Best record in baseball. How about that, sports fans? Did not have the Milwaukee Brewers being that at the top dog at the as far as total wins are concerned. Really intriguing stuff, man. It's going to be a great postseason, potential solid matchups. I'm talking about best markets out there, whether it's LA and San Diego, New York, Toronto. They're going to win the AL East 89-64. Tigers have some fight in them. You saw what they were able to do last year. It's no fluke. The Astros, Mariners, who's getting in? The Sox could potentially be in. It's going to be a fun postseason. But all eyes on us here in Philadelphia with the Red October. Just as far as to make the playoffs, let's take a look at this. That's seedings. I'm looking at teams to make the playoffs as far as yes or no. Not seeing it. Why am I not seeing it? Series props, World Series specials. Philly's still leading the way, a plus 425 to win the World Series. Yeah, they're not showing on the yes or the no unless I'm missing it. But they do have some series prices. Okay, we like that. Let's check out these series prices. First of all, the Houston Astros and the Seattle Mariners, which is the big one here. Let's see. Right now, you can get the Astros are minus 120, Mariners minus 110. Nothing really too crazy happening. And that shows you how evenly matched both of those teams are. I already have a play on the Seattle Mariners. I don't have any interest in adding more. The Philadelphia Phillies, though, are minus 125 in this series against the Diamondbacks. That's pretty interesting stuff there as far as that is concerned. Finally, real quick, if we can, the award market is pretty much wrapped up. I think you can still make the case for Cal Raleigh. I do believe you can. If he gets the 60, I think he wins it. I do. I think he's got a pretty good chance at winning it right now. Judge is minus 425. Cal Raleigh 3-1. I took a flyer on him when he hit 2 home runs, and I think he got the 56, right? A couple days ago. Late push. It was at plus 475. Why not? Now I'm invested. Now I have something on that market. I didn't take Judge earlier this year when he was even money. I didn't touch Raleigh when he was a little bit 16, 18-1. Plus 475, I got it. Why not? Took a little bit of a flyer sprinkle on it. Now I have a play at that. I did hear Jonathan Bontobo, who is a great follow over at VSiN. He said this earlier today, and I thought he was on to something, that when it comes to this market, and maybe it's more than just the MVP, you can roll this into all awards, right? There should be more layers that you can play on. Meaning this, Cal Raleigh going to win. I would imagine if you asked 10 diehard, our good friend Colby, he was anti-Cal Raleigh, and he had his reasons. And if you look at the back of the baseball card, you can make the case that, yeah, absolutely, Aaron Judge far and away is the number one guy this year, best player in American League Baseball. He needs to be the MVP. But so if you think that Cal Raleigh can win, yeah, all right. Well, if you do bet him and he doesn't win, you lose. That's obvious. But what about if we can wager on first place votes, right? There needs to be an extra layer to this market because it's all or nothing. And, with that, I don't know if I would tell people like, yeah, you should bet X if it's all or nothing. But, however, take a look at this market. First place votes. I do believe that there will be plenty of baseball writers out there that will be impressed by the fact that Raleigh plays the toughest position. Think about what he does. As far as dealing with the pitchers throughout the course of the season, relievers, why can't I talk? Bullpen pitchers coming out, the assignments defensively. Oh, by the way, you ever played catcher before in July where you have to strap that, the chest protector and the pads. And then we watch JT here in Philadelphia. How many times do you see JT getting beat up, taking one to the groin, taking a shot to the neck, to the shoulder, to the arm, to the elbow, right? That's happening to Cal Raleigh, and all he's doing is setting records. Most home runs, franchise history, most home runs for a switch hitter, could potentially get to 60. We're talking about he's entering territory that like 9 players ever, and the best of the best. We're talking about Ruth, Maris, Bonds, but like guys like that. When it comes to home runs, he's in that territory this year. So I do believe there will be plenty of voters out there that say, you know what, Cal Raleigh deserves my vote. Not to slight Judge in the littlest, in the slightest, but ultimately you have to give it up to Cal Raleigh's the position that he's playing and what he's been able to do, tallying up all those stats. And oh, by the way, the team success. If they win the division, I think he's got a pretty good shot at winning this award. Plus 475. Took a flyer on that. Good luck. Kyle Schwarber 19 plus 1900. Shohei Ohtani, that's his award. I don't think we need to discuss that any further than that. Pretty much other than that, everything is taken care of. Cade Horton, minus 340. He's not going to get touched as far as rookie of the year is concerned. You can possibly talk to me about Garrett Crochet at plus 1,000. Scooble is about to win, another Cy Young, and maybe there's some fatigue there for some voters. Crochet's had a really good season. He was my preseason pick. Not really going to get any love on that one. And then Paul Skeens. Everybody had Paul Skeens. He's a slam dunk. Christopher Sanchez is going to end the season, though, as the number 2 option. Did not see that happening. Plus 1,400. All right. That's some Major League Baseball action for you there. Again, homework assignment coming your way this weekend with the Astros and the Mariners. Finally, we will end on this note, and just to put a bow in this bad boy, the week that we had. What a week it was. Good grief. I'm ready for an adult beverage tonight. But Nick McClay checking in. Texas Tech, Utah. Minus 357.5, now up to minus 3.5. Top 2 teams as of now, odds-wise on DraftKings to win the Big 12. Utah, the favorite at plus 370. Texas Tech right behind them at plus 390. Also, 2 teams that are in the top 14 in total scoring, with Texas Tech being number 1 in the whole country, averaging 58 points and scoring over 60 in their first 2 games. Utah, number 14 in the country in scoring, averaging over 45.5 per game. Texas Tech spent a ton in the offseason, as he pointed out, and after the first 3, it's paying off after the first 3 weeks in the season. Obviously, strength of schedule, it plays as well, but both teams are still putting up the numbers. Does he have a play on this? That's the question here. Oh, but in the end, give me Utah at home, 31-27. I like it. That's where I'm at as well. I take Utah on that one. That's a Nick McClay special. Book it. He continues to win. And you can hear Nick McClay. Tomorrow we'll have him on. Football is King, Ryan Beef Coyle, and Nick McClay. They go live every Tuesday night. Have it for your consumption on every Wednesday here at The Gambler. All right, that's going to do it for me today. But however, coming up on the other side, if you missed Julain Edlow, fantastic listen. He joined me earlier today. So I'm going to run that back. We talked all things college football. We really opened up all things with NFL, with a specific deep dive on the Eagles and the Rams. He gave us some numbers from DraftKings perspective. Where is the money going? And not the side, but the total. Catching a lot of love. Find out which way that is on the mind of bettors, whether it's on the over or the under. We'll have that for you on the other side. Coming up at 6 o'clock, we'll have X's into you, all things Philadelphia Union coverage. Tomorrow, live from Parks Sportsbook and Casino, Dick Girardi, Mike Kern at 9, and then Beef and I, college football rundown at 11. Villanova back in action tomorrow as well. Villanova and Monmouth coming your way. That game is kicking off at 1 o'clock. Pregame coverage at 12:30. And then Sunday, a jam-packed day, 9 a.m., live from Stateside Live, right in the heart of it all, South Philadelphia, the Green Legion radio show. I'm steering the ship. I'm the only addition. So you're getting Quimby, Sack, Diaz, Trey Thomas, Slash, Super Sam, and I'm steering the ship. You can watch on the Fox local app. Download it now wherever you get or wherever you have your streaming services from, whether it's Amazon, Fire Stick, Apple, you name it. Download the app, choose Fox 29. You'll be able to watch us live at 9 a.m. on Sunday. Of course, listen to us here. 10 a.m., Breakfast Before the Birds with the great Natalie Eganoff. That's coming your way. And at 11 to 1, you get Countdown to Payout. I'm going to slide out on this one. I'm going to go to the game. I'm going to stay down there at Stateside Live. Hello. And it's going to be John Jansen and Roy Burton are running it back yet again. Roy did a great job last weekend. Myself and Roy will be holding it down every single Sunday, but John's filling in for me again while I'm down at Stateside Live. So a lot to do this weekend. Make sure you keep it locked right here to The Gambler. And hey, for all you people out there watching / listening, if you would not mind, make us a preset on the iHeartRadio app. I would greatly appreciate that. That's our big push over these next few days. Make us a preset on the iHeartRadio app. Big weekend. Next week, even bigger. Ryder Cup. College football. Oregon, Penn State. Oh, my. Recapping L.A. Rams and the Eagles. Good grief. Let's go. It doesn't get any easier, man. We're going to stay busy until we crown a champion coming up here in Santa Clara in February, and then we run it right into March Madness. Great time of year. Let's go. All right, coming up on the other side, Julain Edlow joined me earlier today. Trust me, you're going to hear that. Everybody enjoy the rest of your night. Go Iowa. Talk to you tomorrow. Peace.
If you can wager on it, we're talking
this
about
isn't just a
it's
game,
the Gambler.
it's a once-in-a-generation event. The Harlem